I really enjoyed this Reddit post about a week off and the lessons that they learned. So I'm going to share my thoughts as a financial planner and the things that I see people do before they retire, because this is a really good glimpse into something that you may want to consider. If you're new here, I'm Elliot Apple, founder and financial planner of Kindness Financial Planning, and let's enjoy this walk together as we reflect on this Reddit post. So I chuckled as I read this Reddit post just because this person literally had a week off, and they felt a significant weight lifted. I think they said something about no on call, beautiful weather, felt like a boulder was lifted from them. And working with people as they go through retirement, one of the things that I see people do often is take a sabbatical or go part-time or say they're going to quit and go into retirement. And it's amazing the opportunities that come up for people when they do this. And the reason being is that when they're ready to retire, there's less for them to lose. And then all of a sudden they can do the parts of the job that they really enjoy. So I think as people hit retirement age and they're looking to get out of work and live off their investments, something that they should do, must do, I don't think it's necessarily a must, but should at least consider is going to part-time if they want. A lot of people aren't necessarily quite ready to retirement. It sounds like this person was definitely close to ready to retire. She even said, hey, if I can't do this job or I don't want to do this job, I'm just going to reduce my lifestyle and live off of that. But this is a perfect example, and this was just a week. I mean, that's the amazing thing, is this was a week and this person felt much better. Maybe they just needed some relaxation, but I think if you're burned out in your job and you're thinking about retiring, a good test run is just saying, hey, I'm willing to go part-time, or hey, I'm going to retire. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to retire to. And then potentially job has new opportunities and you can do just the components that you like. I've seen this a lot in my career where people go to retire and they decide to stay on, or they consult for a year or two just because they're not quite sure how they're going to spend their time in retirement and they're not quite ready to give it up yet. And so that is a good in-between scenario where they can still work, still earn an income, and that reduces the need on their portfolio and allows them to do the type of things that they really enjoyed doing. So I'm curious, has anybody else done this? Put it in the comments down below. Have you thought about retiring, or have you retired? And then at that point, new opportunities pop up. Again, I think this can be a really nice way to transition into retirement while still having some structure to your day. That's the other component that I think a lot of people struggle with sometimes, is they're going to go from a very, very structured day to now everything's open. In this case, this woman really enjoyed it because it sounds like it's the first time that she's had this sort of time off, if you will, for any length of time. And I'm not saying a week is a long period of time, but I think it's the first time that she has experienced that personally. If your job allows for it, consider taking a long sabbatical. See if you can go for 2 months or 3 months and see what that's like. Is that something that you enjoy? Are you ready for it? And if not, maybe there's ways to still work part-time and sort of ease into retirement, discover what the hobbies are that you want to do and how much time you're spending with family or your significant other. I think that's an important thing, that if you're not used to it, it can be pretty jarring to go from 40 hours a week, you're gone 8 to 5, 7 to 5, whatever hours you're working, and then all of a sudden everything's available. So this was an interesting Reddit post for me, just because it's shocking how little time people can get and how different that can make them feel as they're approaching retirement. And so consider it, consider sabbatical, consider part-time work. If you're ready, do that too. I'm not saying necessarily to work just to work, but I find easing into that transition and people getting back to what they actually enjoy about their job and letting go of all the things that they don't necessarily enjoy, that can actually bring a lot of happiness and joy and contentment to their work again, that allows them to work longer. And sometimes that's the solution. Sometimes it is truly just retirement. But I think there's a lot of different avenues out there, and we don't necessarily consider those often because we just think, hey, we're going to go work, then we're going to hit retirement, and that's going to be that. And I think there's a lot of different avenues to get there, and people don't necessarily consider it because they never considered it an option. But once they have enough or they've defined enough in the financial freedom that they need and flexibility in life, all those possibilities come up pretty quickly. So let me know in the comments down below and hit the like button if you want to see more of these types of videos. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.